Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be doing a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card rarity guide. So with this video, I'll be showing you guys the different rarities in Yu-Gi-Oh! And this will also help new players actually determine which rarity their card is actually in. Now, some cards are worth more in different rarities, even though, you know, technically a secret rare is much harder to pull than, say, a super rare, depending on what set it actually comes out from, or if it's from a turbo pack or a champion pack, it can still be worth less or more, even though it might be harder to get, say, a secret rare out of a booster pack. So let's go ahead and jump right into the basic cards that you can pull out of packs, and then I'll kind of explain some of the more advanced ones that you might not even knew existed, because I got some obscure cards that you might not have known about their rarities. But let's go ahead and jump right into it with the basic common cards. So this is going to be the most common cards that you pull out of the booster packs. Majority of the time you're going to be pulling a lot of these. So the only thing that's actually shiny on the card, now all Yu-Gi-Oh cards have a slight gloss to it, don't get that confused with super rare, but over in the bottom right hand corner you'll see this thing, it's called the Eye of Anubis. It says Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's got like this Egyptian eye. Now that means that it is a real Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. However, fake cards have actually gotten better, and they've actually been putting that on fake cards now. So, you know, that can determine if a card is fake or not. If it doesn't have that, then yeah, it's fake. However, there are misprints in Yu-Gi-Oh! Which we'll briefly talk about a little bit later on. But for now, this is your basic common card. The text over here will not be shiny, and the picture will not be shiny either. The only thing that's shiny is, like I said, in the bottom right-hand corner, which will be on all Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Next up, we have the rare card. Now, generally, you'll only pull one of these out of a booster pack, but sometimes you can get two of these out of a booster pack. With this card, the difference between the common Mirror Force over here and the Vanity's Fiend that is a rare card is going to be actually in the card text over here. So you can see that it's actually in silver letters. But the picture here, over here, is just like the common card. It's not shiny at all. Next up, we have the super rare card. So the difference between a super rare card and a rare card is actually not in the card text over here, but it's actually in the picture of the card. So you can see in Dark Magician's robe over here, you can kind of see that red when I move it side to side. You can see how that kind of gives it a nice shine. So it's easier to tell from a common card and a super rare card simply because of the picture. If I move it around, I hope you guys can see that on Dark Magician's robe, the red, how it's kind of giving a nice shine to it. Next up, we have the ultra rare. So with the ultra rare, the difference between the ultra rare and a super rare card is not in the picture, because that's actually going to be the same. The picture part will still be holographic, and over in the card text it'll actually be gold. Now on some XYZs it's a little bit different. On XYZs it's still gold on most of them, however, like I said, misprints do happen in Yu-Gi-Oh! But with XYZs, a super rare card will be a little bit different. It won't actually have the text will actually be in white regardless of what it is, because it'd be kind of hard to see black text on a black background on a card. XYZs are the black monsters, like this for example. This is an XYZ monster. It'd be a little bit difficult to read you know, the black text on it. But the difference between this is basically in the card's name over here. You'll see it in gold over here, and then the picture is also holographic. Next up, we have the ultimate rare. So the ultimate rare looks pretty close to the ultra rare. However, the difference in it is it's got this embossed stamp on it, and it gives the card some texture. On some of the older ones, you can actually rub your finger across it outside of the sleeve, and you can actually feel some of the texture on the card. So you can see over here, this is the ultra rare, this is the ultimate rare. So the cards that are ultra rare, they also do come in ultimate rare. Some of them are actually a little bit more flimsy, like they're really thin because they've been pressed down so hard. But the main difference is going to be in the actual picture over here. You'll see also where it says wind. In the ultimate rare, it's a lot different, as well as in the levels that the monster has, or rank if it's an XYZ monster. Next up, we have Ghost Rare. This is actually one of my favorite rarities in Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is a Ghost Rare. It's different because you can also tell by the text over here, but the main difference is actually in the picture itself. It's basically all like white, and it's got this awesome effect where it kind of looks like it's 3D. One of the coolest one is actually Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode Ghost Rare. That one actually really looks cool because he's got his hand and he's kind of looking like he's going to grab you with it. It looks really cool. But it's driving my camera's autofocus like crazy. But you can see that it is a Ghost Rare simply because it's all white, and it just looks really awesome. Next up, we have Secret Rare. Now, Secret Rare cards have actually changed. We're going to go over the newer one first. So this is what a newer Secret Rare looks like. Basically, the difference between a Secret Rare and an Ultra Rare is going to be actually in the card text as well as the picture. So you can see in the card text, the Ultra Rare is actually gold, and in the Secret Rare one, it's got this rainbow effect. Let me bring it closer to the camera so you can see it. I hope you guys can see the difference between the gold on Quackimira Drago and Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Rooster. You can see it's got this kind of rainbow effect. So that this one right here is a secret rare. Now on some of the older secret rares, it looks a little bit different because actually on the picture you can see these lines that run diagonally across. You can see in Fire Fist Rooster. You can also see it in this Venomanaga, the deity of poisonous snakes. You can see the difference, and I'll just move them side to side, and you can kind of see the difference in the secret rare. So they've actually changed a lot since previously, you know, just the way the actual picture secret rare looks. Sometimes on secret rare cards, you can actually kind of see it through the text as well. Sometimes if the ink isn't thick enough, you can actually see it through the card. But yeah, these are both the same rarity. However, this one is just a newer secret rare, while this is a much older secret rare card. Next up, we have gold rare. So generally with gold, there's also a Haunted Mind set that came out that was basically gold as well. You'll see that it'll also say GLD, which is over here if the camera wants to focus. If you can't see it, hit 720p. It should be able to show up, but it just says GLD1, and that just means it's from Gold Series 1. And the basic difference between a Gold Series and a ultra rare card is you can see over on the side over here, on the edge of the card is actually in gold. So it's actually shining all the way around. So it looks very similar to an ultra rare. The card text is going to be in gold, and also have this gold border around the actual picture of the card, so it really looks nice. So this is a gold rare, and this one is the ultra rare. So let's go ahead and cover some of the more obscure ones, some of the ones you might not be familiar with, and then we'll briefly talk about some of the other you know, cards that you can pull out of some other packs that are not actually available in some stores. So this one over here is actually a secret ultra rare. This is kind of like a misprint. There are actually more misprints in Yu-Gi-Oh! But this is one of the more common ones. It's the picture is actually in super rare. However, the text over here is actually in secret rare. However, it is called a ultra secret rare. It should be called a secret super rare, but that's just the way that they're calling it. So you can see the text over here. It's got that whole rainbow effect, but the actual picture of the card is not secret rare. It's actually a super rare. So that's pretty, oh, I mean, it could be considered ultra rare as well if you want to, but I think it should be an ultra, or a secret super rare. Next up we have the Prismatic secret rare. These look different than the regular secret rares. We'll go ahead and grab Venomanaga once again. So you can see the difference in it. And not only its name over here, you can kind of see it's kind of got these squares that actually are in the text. It's a little bit difficult to see in the text, but in the actual card you can see when I move it around like this, you can definitely see those squares. This is a really old card, Harpy's Feather Duster. But there's also this other rarity called Hobby League. Now, Hobby League, you can pretty much tell because it'll say HL, and then it'll have like HL03, HL02, and all the other different ones. But the main difference on the Hobby Leagues is they're a lot thicker, but there's not any new Hobby Leagues coming out. This is kind of an old thing. They used to be given out at like Toys R Us and different events. But you can see this Mystic Tomato. It basically looks like an ultra rare. You can't really tell too much of a difference between this and an ultra rare. However, there are some cards that some people like to call these parallel rare, but they're actually just the Hobby League cards. Parallel rare in the OCG is actually much different, which I'll actually show you guys as well. But you can kind of see these checkered lines in it when I move it around. So it kind of looks like the Prismatic, but it's a little bit different. You can determine some Hobby League card by simply looking and reading what it comes out of. Like I said, this one, it says HL03, so that is from Hobby League 3. Now, they don't make Hobby League anymore, and at some tournaments, it's basically just Royal Decree. Some of the older Hobby League cards are really thick, and you can actually kind of feel them, so they're actually deemed not playable. The best thing is to always ask your head judge, but most of the time it usually is a problem with Royal Decree, because this card is ridiculously thick. I wish I could show you on camera, but I don't think it'll actually show up if I... Let's see if I can show you guys the actual thickness of the card. I'm not sure if it'll show up on camera. Yeah, it won't really show up on camera, but you can basically feel the card, and it's so much thicker. Let's go ahead and go over some of the other rarities, and then I'll show you guys some other things that can actually determine values of some of the cards. So next up we have Mosaic Rare, or Starfoil. This is actually new to the Battle Pack series. This one might be a little bit hard to see. It kind of comes up on camera. You can see when you move it, it's got these little squares in it. Starfoil, to me, looks a lot cooler. This one kind of looks like a dual terminal, which is also another rarity in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, dual terminal also comes in... They come in common, they come in super rare, and they come in ultra rare. But this is a card troop. You can see it's got all these dots all over it. Some of the new dual terminal cards look pretty cool. This is a Gemini Pearl. It's super rare. And you can see it kind of looks like they're shards of glass. This is one of my favorite dual terminal looking cards, the ones that have like the shards of glass in it. And it looks pretty awesome. Next up, this is actually an OCG Parallel Secret Rare. So you can see that this is, it's kind of got the same effect of the Prismatic rare, but the card text over here is actually in secret rare. It's got that rainbow effect, or that prismatic effect. Next up, I do want to talk briefly about some of the card rarities. And even though, let's go ahead and bring out the common cards. So, this is a common card. Generally, these cards are worth a lot less, but I do want to mention that just because a card is common and just because a card is rare does not mean that, this card is worth less than, say, for example, this card. And the reason why is because depending on what set it actually comes out in, that actually determines the actual value of the card. So, for example, let me give you an example. So, most of you guys know that secret rares generally only come like one in a big box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, packs of like 32 or 24. Usually you only get like one secret rare. So just because it's a secret rare does not actually mean that it's worth more than a super rare, simply because you can tell that this one is actually a French card, but it's actually Dimensional Fissure. Now it comes in Champion Pack, so Champion Pack cards generally are going to be worth a lot more, depending on what it is. Like say for example a Champion Pack Stratos might not be as worth as much as a Ultra Rare Stratos. You kind of just have to know the cards in general to know if the card is worth more or less. But just because it's a super rare and this one's secret rare does not mean that the secret rare is going to be always worth more than the super rare. This one is actually a Champion Pack. It's actually worth like 20 times more than the actual secret rare one, simply because of the pack that it comes out in. Also, there's other things besides Champion Packs. Champion Packs you can't really buy in stores, although there have been some stores that sell them because they buy them from surplus, stores that either go out of business or something like that. There's actually this thing called the Astral Pack, which is another kind of like a Champion Pack, similar to the Turbo Packs. Turbo Packs are really cool as well. Basically, they give reprints of really good cards, as well as they reprint a card in ultimate rare form that a lot of players like to use. Now with Astral Packs, you're guaranteed to get at least one super out of the pack, whereas Turbo Pack you are not. And with Champion Pack, it's pretty difficult to actually pull some cards out of the pack. And I briefly wanted to mention some other cards that are determined. Their value is determined by what they actually are, even though this card is actually in the same rarity. And I'm going to be showing you guys these two Star Dragons. They look very close. They look basically identical. The only thing that's really different is you'll see that it says DP, which actually stands for Duelist Pack 08, and this one actually says CT07. So this one over here on the left that says CT now is from a collector's tin, whereas this one on my right over here is from the Duelist Pack. Now even though they are both super rare, the Duelist Pack one is going to be worth more because you actually had to pull that out of a pack, whereas when you buy the tin, you are guaranteed the Stardust Dragon no matter what, unless you get really unlucky and you got a misprinted tin. Another example would be something like number 17, Leviathan Dragon. Even though this is a secret rare, it doesn't mean that it's worth more than the ultra rare one, which actually has to be pulled out of the pack. So I hope this helps you guys determine the rarity of your Yu-Gi-Oh cards when you're trading online, or if you're just trying to find out the rarity of your cards, because maybe you want all your cards in the same rarity and you're going to trade for them online, and you're like, okay, I want to get secret Dimensional Fissures to complete my set, and I want secret ones, or if you want super ones, whatever you want. So this helps you guys out, because I know there's always new players jumping into the game, and I get asked all the time, I just pulled this out of a pack, what rarity is it? And they try to send me a picture. So the best thing to do is actually just, simply watch this video. I hope this helps you guys out. You can also go to the Yu-Gi-Oh Wikia and actually determine the card's rarity simply by reading off the card's name. Generally, if it says limited edition, that is more than likely going to be a reprint of the card, or if it's actually from a gold series, that sometimes is also a reprint. But generally this is going to be the edition that people will want a little bit less. Like, for example, Rescue Rabbit. If it says limited edition on it, that is a super rare one, and it comes from the tin. It probably says it on the side over here. It says like some type of tin, or it has the numbers on it that you can look up online and actually determine that it is actually from this tin. But I hope this helps you guys out. But thanks for watching. Have a great day. Asian Eyes signing out.